The Retro Arcade Museum in Beacon is a living museum where visitors get to play.
A 60s, 70s themed arcade with authentic vintage working games where people can come in and actually relive their memories and make new ones. So we get the older crowd who remember these games and gravitate towards them because it reminds them of their youth. And then we get the kids come in who've never seen anything on this scale before because they're so used to looking at video games.
And the games on site are ones that were popular pre-Atari, many from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, most that simulate a task.
These machines are called electromechanical machines. Almost all of the games are to create some kind of accurate simulation of what it's like to do something really neat. You know, either fly an airplane or drive a car. And if you think about it, during the 50s and 60s and 70s, this was still novel stuff. There were no video games. So to be able to play something that was interactive and almost life-size and physically resembled the real thing was a very exciting thing, and it still is.
Shooting games with a variety of targets to submarine games using lifelike periscopes to flying games with an actual model helicopter.
The rifles use real rifle stocks from Remington 22 rifles. The periscopes have real metal periscopes. They're not real submarine periscopes, but they were made to feel and look and operate and handle like that. The cars have real car seats with adjustable height, or they have a clutch, which is something you don't find even on modern car games.
But for those of us who grew up on Atari and even remember Pong and Tank, there are a few systems there that bring us back to our own childhood.
I do keep a number of what are called multicade video games here, so you can play on a big screen on a big unit. You can play the games you remember like Frogger and Scramble and Defender and Rastan and Rampage and Bubble Bobble and all that sort of thing. So there's at least 30 or 40 games. I also keep an Atari 2600 hooked up all the time to a big screen, so if people want to play Atari 2600, Pitfall, or Combat as they called it, you can always jump on that.
For the owner, Fred Bobrow, each of these machines is part of a larger collection of his, and he is continually changing out these systems with something new for visitors to come back and play.
The whole idea of this place was to walk into an experience, to take your mind off of everything else, give yourself a little wonder, bring back some memories, make some new ones, and really have a once-in-a-lifetime experience because there's just not too much of this left anymore.
The Retro Arcade Museum is located on Main Street in Beacon at the corner of Schenck Street. And no tokens are needed because for an hourly rate you can play to your heart's content. For more information, log on to retroarcademuseum.com. For Cablevision News, Kimberly Hart reporting.